Okay, CAR T cell therapy is Central Standard Control Organization CDSO approved the indigenous chimeric antigen receptor T cell. Chimeric antigen receptor T cell therapy. More therapy is called the next CAR-19. It is a type of chimeric antigen receptor T cell therapy and a gene therapy developed indigenously in India by the Immuno Act, which is a company incubated in IIT Bombay. It will treat lymphoma and leukemia blood cancer. India is now one of the first developing countries to have its indigenous CAR T, that is chimeric antigen receptor T cell therapy and gene therapy platform. Lymphocyte T cell versus the B cell. Lymphocytes are the type of white blood cells that circulate in the blood and are part of the immune system. There are two main types of lymphocyte, T cell and the B cell. T cells are direct fighters of the foreign invaders and also produce cytokines, which are biological substance that help activate the other part of the immune system. Okay, T cell ये direct fighters होते हैं और foreign invaders and also produces cytokines, which are biological substance that help activate other part of the immune system. Attack infected cell. T cells direct fighters होते हैं of foreign invaders and also produces cytokines, which are biological substance that help activate other part of the immune system. Attack infected cell. Originate from the stem cell in the bone marrow but mature in the thymus gland. They play a central role in cell mediated immunity. Okay, B cell produce antibody molecule that can latch on and destroy invading virus or bacteria. They attack, ये infected cell को attack करते हैं T cell, और ये foreign bodies attack foreign bodies outside the cell. Originate and mature as well in the bone marrow, responsible for hormonal immunity. About next CAR-19 therapy designed to target cancer cells that carry the CD19 protein. CD19 एक biomarker of flag है for B lymphocyte cell and can be utilized as a target for leukemia immunotherapies. Biomarker एक measurable और accessible indicator है. आप इसे measure कर सकते हो, आप इसे access कर सकते हो. It is often a molecule or characteristic that provides information about the कैसे biological process है, conditions or response to a treatment. Biological process, condition or response to a treatment. This therapy is for people with B cell lymphomas, blood cancer who don't respond. B cell lymphomas, which is a blood cancer, who don't respond to standard treatment like chemotherapy, leading to the relapse or recurrence of the cancer. How CAR T works? The T cells are genetically engineered in a laboratory by introducing proteins called chimeric antigen receptor. Okay, blood is drawn from the patient to extract a type of white blood cell, the body's natural disease destroyer called T cell. T cell familiar. T cells are genetically engineered in a laboratory by introducing a protein called chimeric antigen receptor. This engineered chimeric antigen receptor T cells can now identify an home in on cancer cell. They latch on and are triggered to destroy the cancer cell. Then the CAR T cells are multiplied in the lab and infused into the patient by the millions to attack cancer. Okay, CAR T therapy versus chemotherapy. CAR T therapy is a genetically modifies patient T cell to target the cancer. It is very precise and target the specific cancer cell. Typically a single infusion or a few treatment. Individualized treatment based on the patient's own cell. Chemotherapy uses drugs to kill rapidly dividing cells, including the cancer. It is non-specific, affecting both the cancer and the healthy cell. ये स्पेसिफिकली टारगेट करती है कैंसर सेल को भी, हेल्दी सेल को भी टारगेट करती है. इट मल्टीपल साइकिल्स इसमें इन्वॉल्व रहती है, ऑफन ओवर एन एक्सटेंडेड पीरियड. इज़ अ वेरी ये इंडिविजुअलाइज ट्रीटमेंट है, पेशेंट के ओन सेल पे डिपेंड करती है, स्टैंडर्डाइज ट्रीटमेंट है एंड लेस पर्सनलाइज अप्रोच है. साइटोकाइन रिलीज सिंड्रोम. It occurs when the proliferation of the CAR T cell leads to the release of abundant cytokines into the bloodstream. Then it triggers an intensified immune system response. So cytokine release syndrome. Neurological toxicity. Some patients may experience neurotoxicity leading to confusion, seizures, or other neurological issue, often associated with CRS, cytokine release syndrome. Limited applicability. CAR T cell therapy has finally been successful in treating certain blood cancer like leukemia and lymphoma, and its effectiveness in solid tumors is an ongoing area of research. High cost. The personalized as well as the complex nature of the CAR T therapy, it contributes to a high cost. Limiting accessibility to a larger population, very with the rich people only. Patients eligibility. Not all patients are eligible for CAR T therapy, and factors such as कि उनकी एज कितनी है, उनकी ओवरऑल हेल्थ क्या है, presence of certain pre-existing condition can impact the eligibility. Way forward is enhance the safety profile. Continuous research to improve the safety profile of the CAR T therapy. It minimizing the severe side effects such as enhance safety profile. Continued research to improve the safety profile of CAR T therapy. जो cytokine release syndrome उसको minimize करना, neurotoxicity को minimize करना, global collaboration, increase the international collaboration and the data sharing to accelerate data sharing to accelerate research, share best practice, facilitate the global advancement of the CAR T therapy. Enhancing accessibility by developing standard operating procedure for its application as well as integrated in the prevalent insurance package. Insurance package में भी डालो standard operating procedure. Invest in the research to broaden the application of the CAR T therapy, explore its effectiveness in Invest in research to broaden the application of CAR-T therapy, exploring its effectiveness in treating additional types of cancer beyond blood cancer. Diverse epigenetic epidemiology partnership, DEEP. Diverse epigenetic epidemiology partnership, CSIR, Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology, is collaborating with research groups across the world on the diverse epigenetic epidemiology partnership, DEEP project. What is epigenetic epidemiology? Epigenetic is the study of how your behavior and environment can cause changes that affect way your genes work. Unlike genetic change, epigenetic changes are reversible. Genetic change reversible नहीं हो सकते, but epigenetic change are reversible and they not change the DNA sequence, but they can change how body reads the DNA sequence. These are very small sections of DNA that are considered the basic unit of the inheritance and contain the information needed to specify the physical as well as the biological trait. For example, the eye कैसी होगी, hair color ऐसा होगा. तो how body reads the DNA sequence इस पर डिपेंड करता है epigenetic changes. Epidemiology ये एक scientific discipline है that examines the patterns and the factors that are related to the health and the disease in population. किस पैटर्न पे और किस फैक्टर की वजह से हेल्थ पे इफेक्ट पड़ता है, कोई डिसीज़ होती है किसी पॉपुलेशन में. सो इट एम्स टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ डिसीज इज स्प्रेड, आइडेंटिफाई कि व्हाट आर द रिस्क फैक्टर्स एंड डेवलप स्ट्रेटजीज फॉर द प्रिवेंशन एंड कंट्रोल. अंडरस्टैंड करता है कि डिसीज़ कैसे स्प्रेड कर रही है, क्या क्या रिस्क फैक्टर्स हैं, कैसे हम इसको प्रिवेंट कर सकते हैं, कैसे इसे कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं. सो एज अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ द टू, एपिजेनेटिक एपिडेमियोलॉजी माइट बी डिफाइंड एज अ पार्ट ऑफ द एपिडेमियोलॉजी दैट स्टडी द इफेक्ट ऑफ द एपिजेनेटिक चेंजेस on the occurrence and the distribution of a disease. One common epigenetic modification is the DNA methylation, which involves the addition of a methyl group to the DNA molecule. It refers to the infographic. High level of DNA methylation at a gene promoter region that can lead to gene silencing, preventing the gene from being expressed. For example, during stress, DNA may undergo और DNA की वजह से methylation होगा, leading to separation of those genes, stress वाले. ठीक है, during stress DNA may undergo increased methylation into separation of those genes. DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, it is a molecule that carries the genetic information for the development. इससे हमारा development, functioning, growth, reproduction of living organism depend करता है. It is made of two linked strands that wind around each other to resemble a twisted ladder, a shape known as double helix. Each strand has a backbone made of a alternating sugar, जिसे कहते हैं deoxyribose and a phosphate group. Deoxyribose and the phosphate group, alternating sugar. Attached to each sugar is one of the four bases: adenine, cytosine, guanine, thymine. A always pairs with T and A जो है थायमिन के साथ और साइटोसिन इट्स ATCG. It is a 5-year project. The project 5-year project led by the researchers at the University of Bristol, London, and CSIR, Center for Scientific Technology in India. The University of Bristol कहाँ पे? लंदन में. Rational. Much of the population health research conducted till date has drawn heavily on the data collected from people of the white European origin, leaving many global communities underrepresented in the health studies. So diverse genetic database are crucial for understanding the factors impacting the gene regulation and variation in disease risk among the different population. So CSIR इसका हेडक्वार्टर न्यू दिल्ली इंडिया है. ये एक ऑटोनोमस बॉडी है, 1942 में बनाई गई थी, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी के अंदर है, एंड इज नोन फॉर इट्स कटिंग एज रिसेंट डेवलपमेंट नॉलेज बेस एंड द डाइवर्स साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी एरियाज. एरियाज कवर्ड ओशनोग्राफी, जियोफिजिक्स, केमिकल, ड्रग, जीनोमिक्स, एरोनॉटिक, बायोटेक्नोलॉजी, नैनो टेक्नोलॉजी, इंस्ट्रूमेंटेशन, एनवायरमेंटल इंजीनियरिंग एंड IT. इसके प्रेसिडेंट कौन है? प्राइम मिनिस्टर. मिशन क्या है? टेक्नोलॉजी, इनोवेशन एंड ट्रांसनेशनल रिसर्च टू अलाइन विद नेशनल ग्रोथ. टेक्नोलॉजी में इनोवेशन होना चाहिए. Translational research to align with national goal, creation of a scalable and sustainable green technology in the energy sector, ensuring sustainable agriculture, nutritional security through biotechnology research. Technologically innovation, translation research to align with national growth, creation of scalable and sustainable green technology. टेक्नोलॉजी कैसी होनी चाहिए? ग्रीन टेक्नोलॉजी. कैसी होनी चाहिए? स्केलेबल एंड सस्टेनेबल इन द एनर्जी सेक्टर, ensuring sustainable agriculture and nutritional security through biotechnology research. Okay, procedure. It will generate the genomic data set in the underrepresented population across the Asian, African, North and South American continent by analyzing the DNA methylation data and health-related measures else from people around the world. The DEEP study aims to identify what are the causes and mechanism of these health outcomes. About 30,000 participants are to be part, including from some for India. Significance for India: through this Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology is expecting to understand the genetics beyond the non-chemical disease in diverse populations, especially in India and the Southeast Asian nation. It has understanding the implication for common diseases like type 1, type 2 diabetes, including pancreatitis. Challenges in implementing the project: data privacy and security. Genomic data is very sensitive and they contain personal information. तो डेटा प्राइवेसी और सिक्योरिटी की बात आ जाती है. एथिकल कंडीशन: जीनोम प्रोजेक्ट ऑफन इन्वॉल्व द ह्यूमन सब्जेक्ट. ठीक है. सो इट रेजेस एथिकल कंसर्न अबाउट द इन्फॉर्म कंसर्न ऑफ इंडिविजुअल एंड द लॉन्ग टर्म इफेक्ट्स ऑन द कम्युनिटी. ठीक है. Data storage and management. The vast amount of data generated in genome project requires advanced storage and computational resource. The vast amount of data generated in genome project requires advanced storage and computational resource. Dynamic nature of the genome. Understanding the dynamics of the genome evolution, including factors such as mutation rate, selection pressure, adaptation, poses challenges in tracking changes accurately. Integration of the clinical and the genomic data. Connecting genomic data with the clinical information. जीनोमिक डेटा और क्लिनिकल क्या इन्फॉर्मेशन है, इंक्लूडिंग इलेक्ट्रॉनिक हेल्थ रिकॉर्ड, पोजेस इंटीग्रेशन चैलेंज. तो इंटीग्रेशन बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है क्लिनिकल और जीनोमिक डेटा का. जीनोम का बहुत ही डायनेमिक नेचर है, इंक्लूडिंग फैसिस म्यूटेशन रेट, सिलेक्शन प्रेशर्स, अडेप्टेशन, पोजेस एंड ट्रैकिंग द चेंजेस वेरी एक्यूरेटली. We forward collaboration and data sharing. It encourages international collaboration and open sharing of the genomic data. Establishes a standardized protocol for data. कैसे डेटा कलेक्ट करना है, कैसे शेयर करना है. यू हैव टू स्टैंडर्डाइज प्रोटोकॉल लेके चलना है, ट्रांसपेरेंसी बढ़ानी है, एक्सेलरेट रिसर्च करना है. एथिकल गाइडलाइन, चूँकि ह्यूमन फैक्टर्स इन्वॉल्व है, देयरफॉर एथिकल गाइडलाइन तो वैसे ही रहेगी. एस्टैब्लिश रोबोट गवर्नेंस सेक्टर. Standardized protocol, robust governance structure at the global level to ensure the responsible as well as ethical use of the genomic data, with a particular emphasis on the participant consent as well as the data privacy. Public perception and education. Public understanding of the genetic testing and the implication of genomic research can influence its acceptance and success. Community engagement. Engage with the local communities to address their concern, then build trust and ensure that genomic research consider the socio-cultural context of diverse population. Engage with local communities to address concern. Engage with local communities to address concern. Engage with local communities to address concern. Build trust. Okay. Local communities to address concern, build trust, ensure that genomic research consider the social cultural context of the diverse population. Ultra processed food. Food and Agriculture Organization has released the State of the Food and Agriculture SOFA 2023 report, State of Food and Agriculture 2023 report, which research concentrated with the hidden cost of ultra processed food. More about the net. 2023 report represents the national level true cost accounting and assessment to uncover the hidden impact of the agri-food system. The 2024 report will focus on in-depth targeted assessment. ठीक है, जो भी इन डेप्थ टारगेटेड असेसमेंट टू आइडेंटिफाई द वेज टू मिटिगेट दैम. इट स्टेट द अनहेल्दी डाइट हाई इन, जो अनहेल्दी डाइट होती है विच इज़ हाई इन अल्ट्रा प्रोसेस्ड फूड, फैट एंड शुगर, ड्रोव अ ह्यूज हिडन कॉस्ट ऑफ ओवर 7 ट्रिलियन अ ईयर ऑन अवर हेल्थ एंड इन्वायरमेंट. जो अगर हमारी डाइट अनहेल्दी है और इट इज़ वेरी हाई इन अल्ट्रा प्रोसेस्ड फूड, फैट एंड शुगर, इट ड्रोव्स अ ह्यूज हिडन कॉस्ट ऑफ ओवर 7 ट्रिलियन अ ईयर ऑन अवर हेल्थ एंड इन्वायरमेंट. True cost accounting by the holistic and with a systematic approach to measure and valuing environmental, social, health, economic cost and benefit generated by the agri-food system to facilitate improved decision by the policymaker, business, farmers, investors and the consumer. As per 7 trillion a year on our health and environment. As per WHI, India's ultra processed food sector grew at a compound annual growth rate of 13.37 in retail sale value from the years 2006. The retail value of the ultra processed food and the previous grew exponentially from 0.9 billion in 2006 to over 0.9 से 37.9 billion in 2019. Ultra processed food and its impact. They have huge amount of salt, sugar, energy, lower amount of fiber, vitamins and micronutrients, so low nutrient quality होती है. Increase eating rate, over consumption, degree and type of food processing, extrusion, molding, pre-frying, etc. Change in food matrix and texture, impact in digestibility, bioavailability of nutrient, acellular nutrient, duration of chewing, increase eating rate, over consumption, contaminants from processing, formulation of acrolein, furan, acrylamide, industrial trans fatty acid, advanced glycation and product. Industrial trans fatty acid, acrolein, furan, acrylamide. Acrolein, furan, acrylamide. Acrolein, furan, acrylamide, industrial trans fatty acid, advanced glycation and product. High risk of cardiometabolic disease. Formulation of attractive and profitable products with long shelf life, food additives and other industrial ingredients. Dietary exposure to coloring agents, sweeteners, emulsifier, flavoring agent, corn syrup, modified starch, maltodextrin. Contact material. Dietary exposure to contaminant from packaging material, bisphenol. Contact material. Dietary exposure to contaminant from packaging material जैसे bisphenol आ जाता है, mineral oil and phthalate. Ultra processed food होता क्या है? Ultra processed food are made mostly from the substance extracted from the food, such as the are made mostly from substances which are extracted from the food, such as fat, starch, added sugar and hydrogenated fat. High consumption of ultra processed food combined with low physical activity lead to issues like obesity, diabetes and cardiovascular disease. extracted from food such as fat, starch, added sugar, hydrogenated fat. Challenges in curtailing the ultra processed food. Lack of standard definition, like absence of a clear definition of the ultra processed food or the high in saturated fat, salt and sugar, high in fat, salt and sugar food and their categorization. तो स्टैंडर्ड डेफिनेशन नहीं है, लाइक एब्सेंस ऑफ क्लियर डेफिनेशन कि अल्ट्रा प्रोसेस फूड क्या होता है, हाई फैट सॉल्ट शुगर क्या होता है, फूड एंड their categorization. So lack of a nutrition based tax. This model focus on the higher taxes for the nutrition based tax model. This model focus on the higher taxes for products which have the sugar, salt, and the fat beyond the recommended label, and low taxes for their a healthier option. The GST rates are not aligned with the nutrition content in the food, nor are they aligned with the product classification of the FSCI. Lack of data for certain subcategories like carbonated drinks by sugar content is not available. So detailed survey is needed to capture such data in order to undertake any policy decision. Lack of substitution and the physical necessity for manufacturers for making healthy product and to consumers to encourage consumption. ठीक है, सब्सिडी नहीं मिलती भाई, अब तो फिजिकल इंसेंटिव भी नहीं है कि मैन्युफैक्चरर को पहले जैसे हेल्दी फॉर मेकिंग हेल्दी प्रोडक्ट एंड टू कंज्यूमर टू इंक्रीज इन कंज्यूमरिज्म. एग्जांपल इन साउथ अफ्रीका सब्सिडीज ऑन द फूड एंड वेजिटेबल आर पार्ट ऑफ द, जो साउथ अफ्रीका में द सब्सिडी किस पे, ऑन फ्रूट एंड वेजिटेबल, दे आर द पार्ट ऑफ प्राइवेट हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस प्रोग्राम. साउथ अफ्रीका में फ्रूट और वेजिटेबल सब्सिडी द पार्ट ऑफ द प्राइवेट हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस प्रोग्राम. फूड एंड एग्रीकल्चर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, इसका हेडक्वार्टर रोम इटली में है. एस्टैब्लिश्ड इन 1945 टू इंप्रूव द न्यूट्रिशन, इंक्रीजिंग द एग्रीकल्चर प्रोडक्टिविटी, रेज द स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग इन द रूरल पॉपुलेशन, कंट्रीब्यूट टू ग्लोबल इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ. इट इज बाय डायरेक्टर जनरल एंड वेरियस रीजनल एंड टेक्निकल कमिटी. इसमें 195 मेंबर्स हैं. यूरोपियन यूनियन भी है, इंडिया के मेंबर है. स्टेट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड फॉरेस्ट पेड द स्टेट ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर कमोडिटीज मार्केट. लैक ऑफ द फूड सेफ्टी स्टैंडर्ड अथॉरिटी प्रपोज द इंडियन न्यूट्रिशन रेटिंग एज अ फॉर्मेट फॉर द फ्रंट ऑफ पैक लेबलिंग. FCSI proposed Indian nutrition rating as a format for front of pack labeling to help consumer to make informed food choices is yet to come into effect. Front of pack labeling. There is also an alleged lack of oversight on implementation of advertisement and marketing regulation. There is also an alleged lack of oversight on कैसे implement करना है of advertisement and marketing regulation of the ultra processed food. Way forward, it created a very clear and transparent definition of the ultra processed food and its subcategories by the FSSAI in consultation with other stakeholders. तो बहुत ही क्लियर और ट्रांसपेरेंट डेफिनेशन अल्ट्रा प्रोसेस फूड होता क्या है, उसकी सब कैटेगरीज क्या हैं, FSSAI को करना चाहिए. Introduction of the nutrition linked taxes which encourages the consumers to produce healthier food items at a lower prices. Introduction of nutrition linked tax जिससे कि encourage करेंगे the consumer to procure healthier food items at a lower price. Provide fiscal incentives linked to nutrition as they can drive production, export and consumption of the healthier food option. Mapping of the global best practice implementing in India's policies as per the local requirement. The junk food tax.